What's going on? This is Dime Nixon reporting live from Hattiesburg, Mississippi. I'm joined by Charlie Luttrell and Jackson Howard. We just watched Southern Miss open up the season against the Liberty Flames, falling in 4 overtimes, 29-27. Gentlemen, I really don't know what to say about that one. Jackson, why don't you give us your opening thoughts?
Yeah, it was a wild game. Obviously, we kind of figured we would talk about the return of the Superback, right? Up until it went to overtime, and 4 overtimes, as a matter of fact. Just an absolutely wild game. Southern Miss turned the ball over 5 times. And when you turn it over 5 times, you shouldn't even be in contention. And the fact that they took it to 4 overtimes is quite remarkable. So the defense played really good. Offense has a lot of things to fix as they head to Miami next week.
Charlie, why don't you give us your opening thoughts? You were on the field taking photos.
Yeah, so I was on the field able to see things close up, and it felt like when the Superbacks got in, obviously a burst of energy, but I felt like as it kind of went through, Liberty kind of stopped them a little bit, but still, Southern Miss was able to get to overtime with Liberty, and that's something Coach Hall, you can watch our full coverage from that interview. Coach Hall said last year it wouldn't have even been possible. So he said don't be ashamed with this effort, and obviously Southern Miss would have liked to get the win. They had the chances to win this game, but I really thought that stuck out. Don't be ashamed with the effort. And they said they're going to try to fix all those little mistakes that they made throughout this game.
I think here's the bottom line, and I think both of you agree with this. 4 turnovers in the first half. You have 5 going into the fourth quarter. If anybody would have walked up to me on Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday or even to Will Hall and said, you're going to have 5 turnovers going into the fourth quarter and you have a very good shot at beating the Liberty team, he would have said, okay, we'll take that. I think that for unbelievable, somehow they still had a chance to win this game, and it started with the defense. I think all of us just, our heart broke when Ty Keys went down, but I don't know, guys, answer this question for me. What looked better, the offense before Ty Keys went down or the offense after it went down?
I mean, that's kind of what I said. It was almost identical to kind of what happened last year where the offense just got a burst of energy when things switched up. And when you look at Ty's stat line, 4 of 8, 89 yards for 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He made those 2 mistakes, which were costly. And the Superbacks worked out this game. And that's something that's going to be interesting because, how do you continue to go on this season? Obviously, no status on Ty Keys and his injury yet, but it is a question that I honestly can't answer, and I don't think anybody can answer, but it is interesting because I think that the Superback offense is limited in what they can do versus a traditional quarterback. This team wants to have Ty Keys out here.
Yeah, absolutely. Will Hall has consistently said that he wants this program to be quarterback-driven. But you look at how the offense performed before and after going to the Superback, it was actually pretty comparable in terms of moving the ball down the field, to agree with Charlie. The only difference is that Ty Keys' offense and Trey Lowe subsequently turned it over 4 times, whereas the Superbacks turned it over 1 time when they had the ball for a longer period of time. So they definitely moved the ball more. They were able to get into the end zone at times, but the offense didn't change very much. They're still a run-heavy team with or without the quarterback, so it'll be interesting to see going forward, and they obviously want Keys back.
I don't know if I necessarily agree with either of you. I think that it was a 100% change of the offense and the energy. As soon as the Superback came in, Frank Gore Jr. 50-yard touch. I mean, it seemed like they went right down the field as soon as Frank Gore was actually given the ball. And I do feel like that it was a different switch. How much total yards does Southern Miss have?
So I'll go with rushing first, obviously. Passing, well, I'm going to go passing, 137, and 48 was from Frank Gore on that, big throw. He only had that 1 completion, but total 137 plus 252. I don't do math, but if somebody can do that real quick.
So around 400 yards of offense. Yeah. So going into halftime, they had about 149 yards of offense. So once they came out in the third quarter and went straight to Superback, they had double the amount of yards they had in the first half, basically. Almost over double, right? So I think it's not even a question that the Superback is the best offense, and I think that it's now going forward. And I understand what you're saying, Jackson. I understand that this is a QB-driven offense, but you got to work with what works. Am I right?
Yeah, you would think, but we kind of got the feeling towards the end of the game, and the players and coaches disagree with this sentiment, but it seemed like Liberty was able to catch on a little bit with the super back, running it out of the backfield, and I believe teams are going to be able to do that going forward because, there's really not much innovation to it, really. As fireworks go off, hopefully, behind us, hopefully fireworks, but there's only so many variations of the super back he can do. Running back takes the snap and then calls his own number. There's only so many things he can do with that, so it'll be interesting to see if that stays consistent against better defenses in the future.
My only thing is, I understand that, but I feel like you can do it 50% of the offense. You have, Ty Keys running out there and doing the wide receiver screens, whatever, then Frank Gore takes the snaps. I think you just do a balance of it, and I feel like that to me is way better than what they were trying to do in the first quarter.
I will say this, though. I think it's almost a disservice to the receivers you have. But
I agree with that, for sure.
Yeah, only one completed pass after Ty Keys is out, and only 4 the whole game. Obviously, that was a question going in. We didn't see much completions in camp, like when it was live. But then, one completion after that. You've got Brownlee and Caston who are able to, win in big-time moments like this. And you saw that's who Frank was targeting, but they couldn't get it done.
I will say Frank Gore made the best throw of the night to Jacarius Caston, or no, it was Brandon Hayes, over the middle to give Southern Miss a chance to go up in the late there. Gentlemen, the defense played good, as we all expected. Great interception. I don't think I've heard the rock that loud by Eric Scott there. So good play by the defense as we expected. It kept them in this game. But as we've predicted and as we've said in all of our stuff, we knew the defense was going to give them a chance. It was whether or not the offense could or could not answer that call, and tonight they didn't. We're going to have more on the post-game podcast. So be looking for that on 4th Street Sports Show. But for now, this is our unfiltered response to tonight's game, but we'll have a podcast up for you in the morning, so go look for that. So for Charlie, for Jackson, I'm Dima. We're reporting live for the Rock. Southern Miss 0-1, heading to Miami next week. We'll see y'all next time.